All right, y'all. I was wrong. I was wrong. All right, this is Squid Game recap for episodes 8 and 9. 8 is called Frontman. 9, which is the final episode, is called One Lucky Day. I'm Tammy. You are here on Tammy Talks, where we talk TV. That's what we do. If you have not already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, please. If you've been coming back video after video and you're searching my name, go ahead and subscribe. Save yourself the trouble. Thumbs up the video, please. Leave some comments below. Now we can talk about it. Let's get to it, y'all. So episode 8. Before I talk about the games, I'm gonna just get out the mess with the cop out the way in the VIPs. So I told you that the last episode they were following the VIP. I'm sorry, the VIPs were in there, and one of the VIPs actually took a liking to the cop that was posing as a team member or like security member, whatever they were, servers, and they ended up finding him collapsed. So they chased down the cop, that undercover cop, chased him down and found him on the side of this mountain, and he is like cornered between the cliff and the front, the cliff and everybody else that's chasing him. So he pulls out his gun, and the black masked man, the leader, was like, "Your gun only holds 5 because of like police regulations. You done shot this person. You done shot that person. One has to be empty. So I know you got 1 bullet left. Don't make this hard." And the undercover cop is like, "Who are you?" And the man takes off his mask. No, he shoots him first. He shoots the leader first, hits him like right here, so it's probably just all flesh. Hits him right here, and the leader actually tells to everybody behind him, "Don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot." And when he takes his mask off, it's his brother that he's been looking for, that won a couple of years ago. So I thought the entire time, I've been thinking for a while, that once you get to the end, either they kill you or you become like the next leader. That's what I thought was happening. Because especially after seeing that, after he saw his brother, he knew that, like, was like, that's just what I thought was gonna happen. So he kind of asked his brother, like, "Why are you doing this?" And his brother was like, "Come with me, don't make this hard." And then he's just kind of like, "What the hell are you doing?" So the leader ends up shooting his brother, and then he falls back off the cliff and into the water. So now that that is taken care of, they're like, we can get on with the rest of the games. So we see them, the people, the last 3 remaining players: pickpocket, businessman, main character. They are given new little outfits to put on, new clothing. It's like a suit, whatever. They're given a tomahawk steak dinner with wine, and it's because they said they want them to have all the strength that they need to want to have all the strength that they need for the last game. So they also leave them with a knife. And because main character, like I said, is such a good guy, he's like noticing that the girl pickpocket is not eating. She don't look well. So he's concerned about her. So later that night, they're all kind of spread out. Everybody has their knife, worried about if the other person's going to try to come and kill them in their sleep to try to make the game easier. And he's over there checking on her, and she's always on guard, like, "I'm a knife." And he's like, "Look, if I was gonna kill you, I'd have killed you because you've been falling asleep." But he's like asking her, like, what's wrong, and maybe we should make some type of deal where let's try to get out of this together, where we can both split the money. And what really got on my nerves is this entire time how they keep thinking they can make deals. Why do you think you can make a deal? Why do you think that once you guys got to the end, you will be able to split the money? That's just not how any of this has gone so far. So as they're talking, she's talking about her little brother, and that's who she wanted to get the money for, because her little brother is in foster care right now, and her mother is trapped in North Korea. She wanted to use the money to go get her mom so she can get her brother, and everybody can be back together. And he's telling her about his family, and then he like noticed her like grimace and kind of fall over. He pulls back her blazer, and she's like bleeding through her shirt from where she put that metal glass shard out. Or not metal, but she put that glass shard out. She probably should have left the glass in her, but hindsight. So he is like, let's end this. We can end it. And she was finally just like, I want to go home. So he runs to the doors because he's a good person. So he's willing to end the game, forfeit the money to help her get the care that she needs, right? While he's like banging on the door, asking for help, asking for help, asking for help. Meanwhile, behind him, businessman then went over there and slit her throat. And I'm like, you are doing a lot, businessman. Jesus Christ. On one hand, he's like, I put her out of her misery. And main character was like, that's bullshit. Like, what has kind of made you this way? And I forgot to mention in the last review, I think it was episode 7, after businessman pushed that other man onto the glass and basically killed him. Him, main character, I think it's Sanwoo and Ji Young, they got into it because he was like, you want some bullshit, like, why are you doing that? And the businessman was like, well, you always were dumb and you got yourself in trouble and you never knew how much trouble you were in. And Jin Young, main character, came back at him and was like, yeah, and you went to university and you did all of this stuff and you still in the same damn place as me. Do not think you're better than me. So, now they're kind of like enemies. And I think what really pissed off main character was that he was going to go kill his friend while he was sleeping, and in that way they could forfeit together. And Pickpocket told him, you're not that type of person. Don't do it. You're not that type of person. So, now that she's dead, they come in and remove her body. So now main character is just like, fuck the bullshit. He is pissed. So the last game that they are playing is going to be Squid Game, which is the game we saw the children playing at the beginning of the series. I'm still not really clear what it is, but I know that you have to get past, if you're on offense, you have to get past the person on defense and put your foot or step into the squid's head, and then you win. So they kind of give them the rules and tell them you play until somebody else can't play. And Ji Young, our main character, was like, define that, and it's basically like death, right? So Ji Young wins the coin toss by picking triangle, the irony, and they're out there playing, and businessman is just kind of like, man, fuck this, I'm trying to kill you, get this money, and get out of here. While Ji Young is kind of, main character was telling him like, do you remember what we used to do when we got to this point? And he like throws some sand and stuff in his face, or dirt, so he's at like a disadvantage. So the entire time that they're going back and forth fighting, it's kind of like, the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, main character is like, what is wrong with you? But I'm not gonna let you kill me. We can end this together and be done with it. So they are fighting, you hear me, to the point where they don't come up out their shoes and whatever. So we get to the point where Ji Young just start kicking his ass. Main character is just bow, bow, knocking him out, and was just kind of like, all these people, somebody slammed the door, all these people's blood is on you. It's on your hands. You killed all these people. You know what I mean? So he has the opportunity sending over him with a knife to go down and do it, and he doesn't, because that's not the type of person that he is. So he's like, let's just end the game. We're both alive. We can go back to our lives. We don't, let's just forfeit. And while businessman is laying on the ground, he has like this flashback memory of how their moms used to call them to come eat dinner, call them in from playing, and he's like, I'm sorry, and he takes the knife and he stabs himself and kills himself. So main character won. Honestly, I thought this was going to take a nasty turn. The main character was going to die at the end, but he ends up winning. So the leader, the guy in the black mask, they're in a limo, but main character's blindfolded because you can't know who anyone else is. So main character was blindfolded, and he's telling him like, this is your one lucky day, don't ask questions you don't need to know about, blah blah blah. And they throw him out into the street, but they stuffed a debit card in his mouth. So he goes to the debit card, he's able to take some money out, and he sees his remaining balance, and he won, I think it was the 46 billion won, which I did the conversion, so it's about $38 million. So he goes and goes to visit Suwang's Song Woo. See, that's why I didn't want to say their names because I'm messing them up. He goes to visit the businessman's mom. She gives him like some food, asks about his face, and lets him know I haven't seen your mom in a couple days, but take her this food. I should have went over there to see her, should have called her, but she going through her own ish, trying to find her son. So he gets home and finds his mom is dead on the ground. And they told her, she was on her way out because she was so sick from her diabetes. So she was on her way out, anyways. So we then see that it switches to a year later. He goes to get his haircut finally. After leaving the bank where he got called to the bank, and one of the bankers was like, you got all this money in this savings account, you haven't been using it, you're not investing it, it's not making any money. And he asked the man, could he borrow some money? And I'm like, what the fuck? And the man gives it to him because he probably said, hell, you good for it. And he goes and buys a beer. As he's sitting out drinking this beer, feeling sorry for himself, a lady comes and asks him to buy some flowers from her. He buys the flowers, and then she gives him a gold card with the same symbols that the games have on there. So once he gets the gold card, he goes up to the room, and it's some older man. Now, I'm confused because I thought that was the same old man that was playing the game with them, which I think it was. I think that was number one. So I'm wondering if they like purposely made sure that he stayed alive, or if that was just him truly, truly risking his life, wanting to play because he figured, why the hell not? I'm sick already. Because when you think about it, we never saw him dead on the ground. We never saw him actually get shot. So he's talking about, do you trust that there's good in humanity? And they make a wager on this man that they see out down on the street, and he looks drunk or injured or something. And they're wagering about whether there's still good in humanity. Are people still, innately good? And they're having this conversation back and forth. And the man just kind of told him, I do this for fun. I bet on stuff for fun. Watching, people fight to the ends and fight to the deaths. That's fun for me. So that's why he does it. And we see these flashbacks of this older man dressed up, and he's telling the leader that, he wants to play in the game because it's more fun for him to actually play in it than to watch it. So that was tripped out. If that was really him, that was like really, really tripped out. So then we see he leaves there, the old man dies. So then he goes and gets a haircut. And they're asking him, how do you want your hair? Now, I don't want to seem insensitive, but the hairdresser looked like the same woman that that Big Mouth girl that I didn't like. But we know that she died. So I'm like tripped out because I'm like, did I miss something? Is this a dream? The hell is going on? So we get to he gets his hair done, and y'all, when I tell y'all I hollered when he walked out of that hair salon with that bright red hair, absolutely not. But he looks good with it. But I was like, red, my guy? So he keeps his promise to the pickpocket. He goes and gets her brother out of foster care, and he takes her brother to live with, or to stay with at least, the businessman's mom to help raise and take care of. And he gives her a suitcase that she thought was like clothes, but it was a bunch of money, and it's all the money that he said he owed the businessman over the years. So he's getting dressed, he's in the airport, or he's at the train station on his way to the airport, and he hears, somebody getting slapped, like he hears a struggle. He looks across the train tracks and he sees that same man, who we now know is the leader. We see the same man playing that dochi game where they got to throw the stuff down, and this man kind of going for it. He runs over to try to catch him, but by the time he gets over there, the man from the games is already on the train, and he takes the card from the other guy, and it's like, never, ever, ever do this. Like, no. And he takes the card from him. We see him then walking in the airport, and he's on the phone with his daughter, telling his daughter that he's on his way there. He'll see her as soon as he lands. We find out he's going to Los Angeles, and he, for whatever reason, is staring at this card. Calls the number, and it's like, y'all need to stop what y'all doing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sweetheart, just take the money and be done. But he doesn't, and then we see him turn like he's going to get ready to go back to the game. Pissed because my guy, take the money and go. But Lord have mercy, because like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like, would they even let him play again? Are they gonna kill you off rip? Now, I did read an article that said that the creator of the show does not know if he's gonna do a season 2. He has been shopping the show around for 10 years, and it kept getting declined because they kept saying it wasn't interesting enough, or it was too gory, or they didn't think that anybody would watch it. But that was Squid Games. Thank you to everybody that recommended it to me. What a wild ride, right? If you have not already subscribed to my channel, thumbs up the video. If you missed any of the past videos, go ahead and check those out. Let's talk in the comments. Let me know, do you guys think that he is going back? Do you guys think that he's going back to the games? Or do you think that he's gonna go and try to like avenge or get like the game shut down? Is he really going to participate? I'm Tammy. Talk to y'all later. Bye.